In the heart of the C&E jungle, where the trees whisper ancient secrets and the river flows with untold stories, our tale begins. The sun, a brilliant gold, filtered through the thick canopy, dappling the forest floor in shifting patterns of light and shadow. Mowgli, the man-cub raised by wolves, was perched high on a sturdy banyan branch, his laughter echoing through the trees as he watched the monkeys chatter and swing below. Life was a grand adventure for Mowgli. Every day brought a new discovery, a new game to play with his brothers, the wolf cubs, or a new lesson from the wise old bear, Baloo. Baloo was more than just a teacher of the law of the jungle. He was Mowgli's dearest friend, his big, furry confidant. He taught Mowgli which vines were strong enough to swing on, which berries were sweet and safe to eat, and how to speak the languages of all the jungle folk. One bright morning, Baloo lumbered into their favorite clearing, his eyes twinkling with a special kind of excitement. "Mowgli, little brother," he rumbled, his voice deep and warm. "I have a surprise for you. Something truly special." Mowgli scrambled down the tree, his curiosity piqued. Baloo nudged a small, woven basket forward with his snout. Inside, nestled on a bed of soft leaves, was a honeycomb, dripping with golden, glistening honey. It was the most perfect honeycomb Mowgli had ever seen. "This is a gift," Baloo said softly, "a treat for my best student. But it's very precious. Keep it safe until we can share it later." Mowgli's eyes widened in delight. "Thank you, Baloo. I'll guard it with my life." He carefully took the basket and found a perfect hiding spot, a cool, dark hollow in the trunk of an ancient fig tree. He covered it with large leaves, feeling very proud and responsible. Later that day, as the sun climbed higher, casting long shadows, Bagheera the panther appeared. Sleek and silent, he moved with a grace that belonged to the night. "Mowgli," he purred, his voice smooth as silk, "there's something I need to show you. A new path I've found that leads to the highest waterfall. The view is breathtaking." Mowgli, ever eager for adventure, couldn't resist. "Really? Let's go now," he exclaimed, forgetting all about the honeycomb in his excitement. He followed Bagheera, leaping and climbing, his heart pounding with the thrill of exploration. The path was tricky and winding, and it took them longer than they expected. By the time they reached the waterfall, a magnificent cascade of silver water crashing into a crystal-clear pool, the afternoon was already fading. Meanwhile, back in the clearing, Baloo woke from a long and satisfying nap. His tummy rumbled, and his thoughts immediately turned to the delicious honeycomb he was going to share with Mowgli. He ambled over to the fig tree, his mouth already watering. He pushed aside the leaves, expecting to see the golden treasure. But the hollow was empty. The basket was gone. Baloo's heart sank. He looked round, sniffing the air. A faint, unfamiliar scent lingered near the tree, a musky odor he didn't recognize. Panic began to set in. He searched frantically, his big paws rustling through the undergrowth. Where could it be? He called for Mowgli, but only the echo of his own voice answered. The clearing felt strangely silent. As minutes turned into an hour, Baloo's worry curdled into a deep, painful hurt. Could Mowgli have eaten it all by himself? The thought was a sharp sting. He had trusted the man-cub. He had given him a special gift, a symbol of their friendship. The trail felt cold and heavy in his chest. His gentle nature gave way to a simmering anger born of disappointment. Just then, Mowgli and Bagheera returned, their faces flushed with the joy of their discovery. "Baloo, you should have seen it," Mowgli began, his voice bubbling with excitement. But he stopped short when he saw the look on Baloo's face. The bear's usual warm gaze was gone, replaced by a stony, cold expression. "Where is it, Mowgli?" Baloo's voice was low and gravelly, a tone Mowgli had never heard before. "Where is what, Baloo?" Mowgli asked, confused. "The honey, the gift I gave you, the one you promised to guard." Mowgli's face fell as he remembered. He rushed to the fig tree and saw the empty hollow. I don't know. It was right here. I hid it so well." "A likely story," Baloo grumbled, turning his massive back to him. "You couldn't wait, could you? You ate it all, without a thought for me." "No, Baloo, I swear," Mowgli cried, tears welling in his eyes. "I would never do that. We were going to share it. You have to believe me." But Baloo wouldn't listen. He shook his head slowly, his heart aching. "Trust is earned, little brother, and today you have lost mine." He lumbered away, leaving Mowgli standing alone, heartbroken and bewildered. Bagheera placed a comforting tail on his shoulder. "Give him time, Mowgli. He is hurt." But Mowgli couldn't just wait. He had to prove his innocence. He had to get his friend back. He returned to the hollow tree, his mind racing. He searched the ground, his jungle-trained eyes scanning for any clue. And then he saw it, a single, black and yellow striped quill, half hidden under a leaf. Hystrix, the porcupine, and nearby, a faint trail of sticky honey droplets leading away from the tree. Hystrix was known for his grumpiness and his insatiable love for sweet things. He lived in a burrow under the roots of a giant jacaranda tree. With a determined glint in his eye, Mowgli followed the trail. He found Hystrix just outside his home, guilt written all over his face, his quill sticky with honey. The empty basket lay discarded nearby. "Hystrix!" Mowgli called out. The porcupine jumped, rattling his quills nervously. "You took the honey." Hystrix couldn't deny it. I'm sorry, Mowgli," he stammered. "The smell was just so good. I couldn't help myself. I didn't think anyone would miss it." "Baloo gave it to me," Mowgli said, his voice firm but not unkind. "He thinks I ate it. He's angry with me." Understanding dawned on Hystrix's face, followed by a wave of remorse. He knew how much Baloo and Mowgli meant to each other. "I will fix this," Hystrix declared. "I will tell him the truth." Together, they went to find Baloo. The old bear was sitting by the river, staring sadly at his reflection. Hystrix scurried forward. "Baloo," he said timidly, "it was me. I took the honey. Mowgli is innocent. I was weak, and I am truly sorry." Baloo looked from the shame-faced porcupine to the hopeful, tear-streaked face of the man-cub. The anger in his heart melted away, replaced by a wave of relief and regret for doubting his friend. He pulled Mowgli into a huge, warm hug that smelled of forest and forgiveness. "Oh, little brother," he rumbled, his voice thick with emotion. "Can you forgive an old, foolish bear?" Mowgli hugged him back tightly. "Of course, Baloo. I knew you'd believe me." From that day on, their bond was stronger than ever. They learn that friendship, like the jungle itself, can face storms, but with trust and understanding, it will always find a way to heal. And Hystrix, to make amends, spent the next week gathering the sweetest, most delicious berries for them both, a small gesture to mend a big misunderstanding, and the laughter of the man cub and the happy rumbles of the old bear once again filled the C&E jungle. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more adventures from the jungle. See you next time.